Okay, so once you go to app.xandadeck.com, you are going to see this screen. So you log in with your account, and Lawa, just to let you know, you can have multiple users on the platform, and all of the accounts can be linked to each other. All right, and you can give them the appropriate privilege or permission to do what you want them to do, and restrict them from what you don't want them to be able to do when they log into the account. So you are not going to see this side of the screen. This is just like the control panel for me to be able to get into an account and then use the account to show us what the portal looks like. So um, when you log into your account, uh, this is the portal you are going to see. Lawa, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. So when you log into your account, the first thing that is going to take you to is the dashboard here. So on the left pane, you see there are a couple of buttons that you can play with. These are the buttons that we use for content upload, designing, and all of that. But then on the dashboard, it's going to give you like an overview of what is happening with your account. And if you can see on the dashboard here, it's saying you have the number of monitors you have online is going to show the number of monitors you have offline, so that you can follow up to say, oh, maybe branch A is offline. You want to find out why is it offline, and if a player is offline or is telling you that a monitor is offline, is as a result of two things. One is either it's powered off completely, that is why it's offline. Two, it might be powered on and maybe the Ethernet cable is not plugged to the player, so it won't be able to report to the portal whether it's online or offline. But of course, whatever that is playing will keep playing, but only that it won't be able to show you online or offline, which is internet connection problem. So when the player is offline, you may need to find out from the IT rep to say, oh, is it playing on the screen? Why is it showing offline and things like that? This is just like the overview part of your account, what is happening generally with your account here. So there's nothing much that is really happening here. So after this button, the next thing we have is the media. So before you send anything to your screen, it's expected that you upload it into your account before you push it to the screen, because that is the process. For instance, if you are playing something on your screen using USB flash drive, if you have a new content, you have to unplug the USB flash drive, plug it to your computer, and put the content into the USB flash drive before you plug it back to the screen. So, but in this case, you are not going to remove your player and do all of that anymore. So you just upload your media
Sorry,
files.
Mr. Dennis. Can we be
Okay.
asking questions as you're talking?
Of course, yes.
Okay, sorry to bring you back. On the dashboard where I can see the monitors that are online and offline, can I know which branch these monitors are in?
Okay. Oh, okay. So to know that, you have to come and click on monitors to view those monitors individually. So the dashboard just gives you an overview of what is happening with your account. But if you want to narrow it down to know which branch is actually offline, you can click on monitors from the left pane here. When you click on monitors, it's going to show you all of the monitors that you have under your account. You can see from here. By default, it might show you just 10 from here. So you may need to click on this place where you see, oh, I set my own to all. But if you are doing it for the first time, it might set you to 10. So, and there's it to just show you only 10 monitors, and then you have the pagination here to go next, 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 next. But for me, I like to view everything at once. So I just do all so that I keep scrolling to see all of the monitors. Why you are seeing all this unregistered, unregistered, unregistered is because we have not activated those monitors. We pre-configure them and send them to what's it called, to Lawa, so that when they get to the branches, they will be able to come up online and do the activation. And of course, here, when you click on monitors, you can see the first thing here. You see the name. of the monitor. We just call this one POC, Adeola Odeku, and things like that. You see the monitor ID, whether there's a scheduled content, what is the default content that is currently playing, the status, whether offline or offline or online, will show here. And then action here is where you want to edit monitors and all of that, which we will get to this in few minutes. Then if I want to view the monitors by status, because now it just throws everything in front of me. Let's say I want to see all the online monitors before I see all the offline monitors and then all the unregistered monitors. I can change this status here. When I press this status and press it again, you see that it's now changed. Now I can see all the online monitors before the unregistered monitors and things like that. So currently, we just have one player that is online, and that's the player at Adetokunbo Ademola that we deployed for when we were testing to how the technology would work on the network. So currently, this is the player that is online. And if I want to see what the player is currently playing, I can click on edit here. And when I open it from here, I can see the screenshot of what is currently playing on the screen. So this is what I just designed. It was just like a demo layout, which we'll get to in few minutes. So this is going to change, I think, in like every 2 or 3 seconds. So it gives you an idea of what is happening on your screen like that. So are we clear now? Are we good with that? So we can proceed.
Yes, yes, it's good. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. You're welcome. You say? Any question?
No, there's no question. We're hearing background
Okay.
discussions there.
Okay, so on the left pane here, let's go back to our media. So when you have a media file or wherever it is you want to bring to your account, this is where you upload it from. I'm talking about the kind of media that we support. We support images, videos, audio, and document like PDF, even PowerPoint. You can throw all of those things into your screen and define how long you want each slide to even stay on the screen before it goes to the next one. So let me start with the image. You can also show web pages. If you can even look at the screen that I just showed you a few seconds ago, it was a CNN website that was showing on one part of the screen and then the video and all of that, which we'll get to this partition in a few minutes. So to upload images, you just click on images, simple. If you want to create folder to say, oh, maybe you have some images that deals with a particular campaign or particular training, you can create a folder and then upload those images there. But if they are generic images, you can just go straight and add images and go from there. But for proper content management, if you want to group things the way you want them to be so that you can easily make use of them, this button here allows you to create folder. So let me just click on add image. So if you click on add image, it asks you, is it an image file or you want to, because we also support stock photos. If you are looking for a particular image that you do not have, you can click on stock photo and just search the keyword. So it's going to search and allow you to download straight from the internet. So, but if it's an image file that you have, you click on this place, you just open here and choose the image. No, I'm not going to upload any image here, but just to show us. Once you select any image, I don't have any image that I can upload here. Sorry, let me just to show us something. Let me do so that I don't.
Hello.
I'm with you.
Yeah, just wanted to ask, what's the maximum size for images that can be uploaded, and what resolution or what file types? Is it just JPEG? Can we upload PNGs as well? And what's the maximum file size?
Right now, we don't. There's no maximum file size as far as you want to upload something to your portal. But just know that whatever you want to upload to the player would not, whatever you want to send to the player should not exceed 16 gigabyte. But in terms of uploading an image to your portal, you you have unlimited cloud storage to do that. And in terms of
Okay.
image type,
Okay.
you can do JPEG, PNG, and all of that.
Okay. How about dimensions? Because like the example you showed, it seemed like the image was sort of shrunk. It shrunk on the screen, or maybe that's from the screenshot. Maybe that's not how it looks on the actual screen. In terms of resolution, what's the file resolution, the image resolution that we should use, such that when it shows on the screen, even if we put things side by side, it would still look like its normal dimension and not look like it's screwed together.
In terms of images, it depends on what you want to achieve. Your screens are they are in landscape format, so we are looking at. So if you click on layout, let me just show you something here. So it tells you what your screen size is like. Coming. So you can see this ratio here, this 16.9, which is like 1080p. So it is about the quality of
Okay.
it is about the quality of
Okay.
your image. So if you throw something very, very small into the screen here, of course it's going to look funny. But there are situations where you need to have portrait images. It must not always be, landscape images that must fool your screen. Remember, there's a part that allows us to, divide the screen, have different activities happening on your screen. So if you have portrait images and you want it to take over, let's say, a very small part of your screen, you can also make use of those images. I don't know if that answers your question, but if it's a full screen image that you want it to occupy the whole of your screen, the choice is
Yeah, it
yours.
does. Thank you.
All right, we'll get to that part of layout very soon. So let me get out of here. So just to you can see this image here is looking very blurred. So and I'm sure by the time you send this to the screen, it's going to look very funny on the big screen as well. So very good quality image in terms of if you want it to take the whole of your screen, you may need to look into that as well. So just to show us how it's done, I'm just going to save this image and put it on the desktop and then do just this image, which is like portrait now. And, so you come to click on image, click on add image, choose your file, and from there, so you click on the image. If you have multiple images, you can select all of them and just click yes, just to show us something. The image name is picked automatically. Description is not mandatory, but if you want to put it, it's up to you. This default duration that you can see here is, let's say, when I send this image to the screen as a playlist, how long do I want it to stay on the screen before it goes to the next one and to the next one? That is what it is. For me, I like to leave it at default 5 seconds because when you are creating playlists, you still have the power to modify these things in terms of how long you want each image to stay on the screen before it moves to the next one. So I can click on just save and let me get out of this screen. So you can see it's processing. Upload complete. So you're going to see the thumbnail here. So the same process. So if you want to upload, videos to your screen, you can click on video. You click on video. For video, we have several options here. If you click on add video, you can see we have a lot of options here. You can upload a video file. You can just say you have a YouTube video, you don't need to download it anymore. You can just add the link straight to this place and you send it to your screen. If it's Vimeo files, the same thing. If it's PowerPoint file, you want it to play on the screen as a video, you can create a PowerPoint slide and you want it to play on the screen like a video. you can just upload the PowerPoint file straight. So it's going to convert it to a video and you send it to the screen and it's going to play. It's going to play with the audio and whatever that you've added to that PowerPoint file. And then if it's a situation where we're doing live streaming on the network, like some UDP protocols, you have like a multicast stream that is happening within your network. Of course, you can put that here. That is when we want to integrate DSTV with the platform. So we do all of that. We support all of that as well. Wallpaper, all of. So let me just show us for video file. You click here. The same process, just the same way we upload the video. You choose the video and you move to the next screen. And for YouTube, so when you click on YouTube, you are going to get two. You have choices here. So it's going to ask if it's a standard video, YouTube video link, or it's a live stream. If there's a live stream that is happening on YouTube and you just want to put it on the screen, of course you can put the URL here, save it, and it's going to keep on playing that live stream as long as it's happening on YouTube. So those are the choices you have for YouTube. You can try things out and so let me just add one YouTube video so that we can use that to create some playlists when we get to that stage. So it looks like let me see the videos you have.
You can pick that first one about food and drink.
This one?
Okay. No, the one about food and drink. The first one on the page.
Okay, GT food and drinks. Okay.
No, not this. Not this. The one that says the food and drink festival is back.
Which one?
The first video you saw on the page, go to go back like once or twice. One more time. Yeah, this one. GT food. Yes, GT food. Yeah, that's one.
So copy the link up to your account. Select. Let's start this. Thank you. Sure. Go back to your account. Select YouTube, and of course, this is a standard YouTube link. You just paste the link and click on add. So you give it a name. Let me copy the same name from here because it's not a video file, so it might not pick the name for you. So you may need to add the name, give it a description if you want, and just go straight and click on save. So just like that, you've added it to your screen. So let's just have, if it's an audio file that you want to add, it's the same process. And then you select whatever source. It's an audio file, it's a YouTube audio, a live stream and all of that. You just add it from here and you're good to go. So for document, if you click on document and you click on add document, you have the, if it's PDF, you select PDF. If it's a Word document, if it's a PowerPoint file, or an Excel that you want to throw on the screen, you have all of that option. And it's the same process. You choose your file, you press upload, and then you move from there. So for web pages, like I mentioned, you can also show web pages. For now, we have CNN website and we have Google. If you want to show your own website, you can give it a name and move on, enter the URL of the website, and of course, you just go straight and save. You can leave every other thing by default and press save, and it's going to go from there. So let me close this and come back to widgets because we like to, for widget functions, we've talked about the media files and all of that. So the next thing we have here is widget. So widget functions are like the additional functionalities that allows you to do some things beyond showing your media files and code. So with widget functions, you can show things like, let's say, time and date. You can do word clock, you can do RSS news feed, you can do like maybe welcome scrolling text and maybe use the scrolling text for whatever you want to do. There are quite a lot of options when you come to widgets here. So if you click on add widget, you have to create the widget first before you send it to your screen or you add it to your layout and code. So when you click on add widget, you can see these are the things that you can do on widgets. You can see date and time, word clock, analog. If there's a countdown that is going to happen or count up, you can use this as well. Maybe you can display calendar of event and what have you, and then weather report and all of that. There are quite a lot of things you can do here using our widget functions. You can show feed from Facebook and also from Twitter. It can be based on Facebook page or based on hashtag and all of that. So you can try things out here. So one of the functions that we take advantage of most time is the ticker text that allows us to do. And when you click on any widget that you want to make use of, it shows you, it's going to give you like a preview of what it's going to look like by the time you send it to your screen. So with this ticker function, we can do a scrolling text, maybe welcoming people to the bank, give them whatever information they need from there, or maybe pull out the news from CNN or whatever website using RSS news feed. Just to test, let's say I want CNN. I just give it a name, CNN news feed, and you can set all of this duration, the speed, and all of that. You can adjust the background color, the text color to match whatever you want to you want to design. But when it comes to the text to show, training with GTBank. So when it comes to the text that you want to show, if you click on text here, you have two options. What do you want to show? Is it a regular text, which is going to be like a static text, even though it's going to scroll, but of course it's a static because it's not pulling it from external source. But for RSS news feed, it's going to be dynamic because as long as the content keeps changing from the source, let me do CNN RSS news feed. Okay, so you just pick the URL. Is it top stories or what stories, or you want to narrow it down to Africa? Let me just copy the link, come here, enter the URL of the news feed. So it's going to keep pulling the information from this place and show it on your screen. So how many feed do you want to show? 5. Refresh rate. You can set all of those things here. Press OK. Let me give it a name. This is CNN News Feed Africa, so that if I want to do for another thing, I will know. So one of the scrolling text that I did for you that contains your FX rate, you can see it here. If you create a widget and you want to modify it, you can always come back to this place. If you look at action, the 3 dots here, when you click, you can either delete or you duplicate or you edit what you've created before. If this is the FX rate that I currently have playing on the screen, is scrolling. If anything is not correct here, this is where you come to modify it. It was a demo content anyway. So this is it. Whatever that is not correct here, you just change it and press OK and press. If I have changed anything and click, all I need to do is just to press push to Xandaboxes, and as soon as I get a prompt to say yes, I say yes, and then it goes to the player. So, do you have any question, or we can move to playlist, and then we'll deal with layout and schedule functions finally. Lawa, are you there?
Yes, please. Yes, please. I'm here.
Okay. So for playlist, we know the idea of playlist. So it's for you to create, put things together in form of playlist, and then set the way you want them to play, which one should come first before another, and it plays like that from beginning to the end, and it goes back from the beginning again to the end of it. So when I click on add playlist, I can select classic or tag based. If I have uploaded any tag based content, I can use that to create playlist. So I can click on this, give my playlist a name. Let me call this one video plus, I'm going to call it video plus pictures. Let me say videos plus photos. Let's say this is what my playlist is going to comprise of. So I give it a name. Description is not mandatory. You come down here. This is where you filter your content by the content type. If I'm looking for video first, so this is the video I had before. I can press this, so it's added there. I can press this as my, because once it's done playing this one, it should go to this one, and then I want this image. This is a video, not an image. So I press this, and then let me come back to some images. Let's say I want this image to also show. This is what I mentioned when I was uploading an image file, that I said, yes, there's a default duration that is going to show to say, oh, it's going to be 5 seconds as per image. For video, you can't define it. If it's a 4-minute video, it's going to play for 4 minutes and it goes to the next content. If you don't have a next content, it will roll back again and start from the beginning. So for video, you don't, these buttons are grayed out. But for an image, you can set how long you want the image to stay on the screen. So I can modify this and change it to say, let's say stay for 10 seconds and then move to the next content. So when I'm done creating the whatever I have, it's going to show you the total duration of how long this content is going to be on the screen. So you can go up and click on save. So if I'm playing this playlist and tomorrow I have another content, maybe a PDF document that I want to add to the playlist, I can come and edit the same playlist, go to my content. If the content is there, I can add it to it and press save and update, and then I'm good to go. So this is basically about playlist. So the most beautiful part of the technology is the layout functions, because if I want to add anything to my video, to my players currently, if I want to send anything to my players right now as we speak, if you upload a video and you want to just send that video only to the screen, you can just press and send the video to the screen. But if it's a situation whereby you want to have different activities happening on your screen, just like what I just showed us from the beginning of this discussion, where you have one part of the screen showing maybe the welcome message to GTBank, another part is showing you maybe RSS news feed, you want another part to show you the FX rate information, the website, time and date, then you want to have the videos and every other content, multiple activities happening on your screen. The way you can achieve that is by using the layout function. It is the layout function that allows you to do all of that. So you mix all of those things, from media files to playlist to layer to widget function, and put all of that into a layout, and then you send it to your screen. So let's just go together.
Mr. Dime,
You say you have a question?
Mr. Dime, I have a question. Yes.
Okay.
So can I, if I don't want all the branches to see the same thing, can I schedule different materials to different monitors?
Of course.
Like I have a different type of material for like 5 branches. I have another type of material for like 100 branches. Can I do that?
Of course. Sure.
Okay.
You can do that. So
then another thing. No, go on.
Okay, so to make your life easy, there are ways you can do this. There are easier ways you can do this. So if you want to do that, if you come to these 2 monitors, here I'm viewing all of my monitors, right? Let's say I have a content that I have designed for 5 branches. What you can do is to select those monitors here, all right? You select those branches that you want. Let's say these are the branches that I want to push the content to. I can click on this action, button here, and you click on edit. All right. So when you click on edit here, where you have default content, you click on set value because it's the default content that we want to set. So you can now choose here to say what kind of content do you want to send to the screen. Is it a layout? Is it playlist? Or is it just a media file? It's just one image that you want the one image to take over the screen, or it's just one video that you want to take over the screen. In most cases, we might be using layout because that's what a lot of people like using, to have different activities on the screen. So if I click on layout, I'm going to get, so I choose here to say what layout am I looking for. So I can begin to search that layout. The one I currently have is, let's say, if I type, I think layout by Dennis or something. Okay, so this layout, the only layout that is created is selected already. So simple layout. If I press here, I have this layout here. Select the layout and then press save. Once you press save and click on push the changes to your Xandabox, you get a prompt to say yes or no. Once you say yes, those branches will have that content. And if you are looking at the default content here, if you are viewing your monitors, if you look at this this place that says default content, you can see the default content that each branch is playing. All right. So from here, if you're looking at it, you can see what is playing. You can see what is playing. So that looking at it from here, if from this branch to this branch is supposed to play a different content, you should see it from the default content here, right? If that is clear, we can move to the next thing, which is the layout that we're talking about. Are we okay?
Yes, it's clear. But I have another question.
Go on.
Sorry. So in a case where we have more than one user, is there an override function?
Okay, so in terms of there are quite a lot in terms of you want to define. When you are giving a user a privilege, you can actually define what the user can do. So right now, I will take you to a website, Xandadeck.com, where all of that are defined in terms of what you can and cannot do in terms of user privilege management. We have different subscription level. There is a standard, the pro, and the enterprise class. So the standard comes with to say if you want to have multiple users, just give this user admin, call the other one content manager, call the other one content whatever viewer. But in terms of nailing down to say, oh, you cannot push this kind of content, or you can't do this, you can't do that. I think that is only available at the enterprise, on the enterprise plan. I think other features, let me check whether features or plan. I'm trying to look for where it is. Yeah. So we have different plans here. So the standard, the pro, and the enterprise. I think when you click on compare plans, you should be able to see what you can do at the enterprise level and what the standard can do. I think your current subscription is under standard. You can have multiple users, but if you want to, let me try and check that part that has to do with what you just mentioned. So under security here, what you have under standard is so you can manage multiple users in one account. That one is checked here. The two-factor authentication is checked. Standard role, yes, like predefined roles, they are all defined in this place. But if you want to have like custom roles definition, that is not available under standard. Even Pro doesn't have it, but at the enterprise level, you can do that. Because what you just mentioned, I think that falls under custom user roles definition and all of that. There's granular access control and also the single sign-on features and all of that. Custom password policy, all of those ones are available under enterprise. So whatever you try to do from your own account right now, you can't do that just come and check here and see where it is available, and we can always discuss about that if there's a particular standard you want to meet up with. Are we clear on that?
Okay. Yes, we are. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. So the website I just showed you is like our public website. If you don't want to go through app.xandadeck.com, you can always go to xandadeck.com from here and press login. So it's going to take you to the same place, the app.xandadeck.com, where you log in and then you continue to do your work. This is our public website, and yeah. So public website dedicated to this particular technology. The other website we have is xandatechnologies.com. So where we have all of our other solutions that we also sell. So let's continue. Okay, so layout. These are the current layouts that I have. And in terms of filtering option, is going to narrow it down to just 10 for you. If you have more than 10 layouts, you can press here and select all so that you view all of them. But in my own case, we just have this one. Some of them comes with when you create your account, so there is nothing really happening there. So to create a new layout, click on Add Layout. We have some templates. If you want to take advantage of this template, you can click on any of them and modify and use. But for me, I like to create my layout from scratch. So if I want to create my layout from scratch, I can click on this place that says Create Custom Layout. You press it, it's going to say, okay. You can see these are the way most of our screens are mounted. They are in landscape. So it's going to give you like this. So it's going to tell you the ratio here is 16.9. And that's that. Give the layout a name. Let me call it demo layout. Let me call it 2 because I have one already. So right here, you want to start adding content to your layout. The way you do it, you see the insert button here. So when you click on insert, you're going to this part is going to pop out to say what do you want to add to your layout. Is it a single image? Is it just a video file? Is it audio? Is it a document, a web page, or a widget function? Let me start with a layout. Let's say I want to add a layout to my screen. I can click here and look for the layout. I think layout that I just, okay, not layout. The playlist that I added a few minutes ago is video plus photos. So I click OK. So it's just going to drop it like this. Everything is all drag and drop. There's nothing really special happening here. Just to drag it and place it where you want it to be on the screen. I can decide to put it on this side of the screen or on this side of the screen. So let me put it here and say, let me increase this. This is a video. Let me allow it to take larger parts of my screen. Just shift it like this. Because of the bezels, sometimes I draw it close like this and then leave it like this. So on this fitting option, remember to always change it to either fit or stretch. Yes, for me, I like it stretched so that it fits properly. So it's going to try to detect your screen size so that this part doesn't run into the bezels of your TV screen. So this is just the video part. I want to have another thing like a scrolling text happening here and then another thing happening here. So I can click on insert and then click on widget and want to add, let me add my FX rate on top there. So it's going to pull it like this. Let me resize it and then drag it from here and put it here. I don't know if this is the right color for GT. I'm going to drag it like this. So I can see that, yeah. So if things look fine, this is So for this widget functions, it's not going to show you the actual content, but it's going to just preview to say, oh, this is a sample ticker preview. This is what it's going to look like when it gets to the screen. So let me add another thing. I can click on insert again and choose widget functions, and also just select. Let me select this one. CNN newsfeed is what I want to have this time. I will reduce it, bring it down here, and let it take this part of my screen. I don't want it to, roll over the video part, so I would always reduce it like this. So most times what we encourage people to do is in your office where you are designing, it will be good if you have a sample player that is connected to your screen so that when you finish designing, you push to your own test player and then you look at how things are on the screen. Everything is sitting properly. Then you can now push it to the other screen. That is what we recommend.
Okay, sorry, Mr. Dennis, sorry to cut you off. So this, what I want to say is for both you and Lawan.
Yeah.
We have a screen in our office, not at the branch now, in our office. I don't know if that can be profiled so that when we're doing this content update, we can say it. I know the exact way it looks, just like you suggested.
Yeah, there's
Lawan. I mean on our floor, in our office, the 8th floor.
Lawan, are you there? Lawa just left us here. Okay, so right now, to the best of my knowledge, we don't have. I don't think there's a provision for that yet. They gave us 200 branches to cover, and all the players we've pre-configured are to the 200 are for the 200 branches. We don't have another. But of course, you can always make arrangement for it. We have players here, so even if you want another 200, we have. But I think there's no provision for that extra player, but it's recommended actually. I think when Lawa comes, he will be able to answer us as to how we want to go about that. So, can we continue? Is anyone there?
Yes, Wale.
You said? Looks like it's breaking.
I can hear you.
Okay. So continue on our training. So I have one layout. What's it called? My layout. I have my FX rates playing on this side. I have the main part of the screen that is going to play advertisement videos and every other thing that I've added to this playlist. And I have news at the same time from CNN that is going to show people. So as you are watching the screen, you know what is happening at the same time. As we are entertaining them, as we are advertising to them, we are also showing them what is happening as per news. So on this part of the screen, there is nothing here. So if I pushed it to my screen now, I'm going to have a blank side of the screen right here. So here is where I just put, let's say, a website. It can be CNN website. It can be maybe a playlist of what's it called, landscape or portrait images, whatever you want to put on the screen. I'm not a designer. I'm more of a technical person. I'm not a designer. So by the time you start designing and exploring the portal and all of that, I'm sure that you'll be able to design something more beautiful. But this is just to show you what is possible with the technology. So I click on web page, and maybe this time I want to show Google website. I don't know, maybe I can change it to news.google.com so that instead of just showing a Google website, Google is also going to give me news. I'm sure it's going to target Nigeria and all of that. So let me take it up. So you can see, check things to know whether if they are overlapping, if one is sitting on top of another. You just readjust and then see how things look. If you see that everything is fine, for me, most times I like to reduce this and put let's say, time and date function on the screen. So I can reduce that, click on insert, come to widget, and select, let me put just date. You can do time and date altogether, but I think in this one that I have, I think I did date and time separately, but you can put all of that together, time and date, and send it once to the screen. So this is it, this is this. If everything looks fine for me, I can now press save, and this is demo layout 2. Let me just to clean things up a little bit, I'm going to go to news.google.com. It looks like this is the website that I want to show on the right side of the screen. So let me copy this URL, go back to where I was designing. I'll come back to widgets once more just to add a website. No, not here. To media, click on website or web pages. Click on add a web page, call it news. And then this is the web page that I want to show. I'm okay, let's save. And once that is saved, I can come back to my layout. And this is the layout I want to modify. Click on edit. And this is the site that I want to take out and replace with the new website that I just added to the account. So I can press delete here and it goes away. Click on insert and I choose not document, I choose the web page that I want to show, which is Google News in this case. So I press it and then click on insert like this. Save it. Right now, what you need to do is, this is a new layout. I have to, since this is a new layout that I want to push to my screen, I have to go back to monitors. You click on monitors, and let's say the only monitor that I have online right now is this Adetokunbo Ademola. So I'm just going to edit the monitor as a single monitor. But of course, if you have multiple monitors, if you want to select the same, you want to send the same thing to all of the monitors at the same time, you can just click here and all the monitors are selected. You click on action and you choose edit. But I'm going to unselect this because this is not what I want to achieve now. I'll just click on edit on this one single monitor and choose default content here. We're going to come to the schedule content and what it does in few seconds. So default content layout is already selected. I just choose this and say demo layout 2 is what I want to play. Click on save. And then push the changes to the box. You get a prompt, say yes. And it's going to start downloading the content, and as soon as it's ready, it will start playing automatically. So you can click on edit to see what is happening, and if I look really closely, very soon on this right side of the screen, I should be seeing downloading, or if anybody is there that is looking at the screen, they'll be seeing downloading on this side of the screen. So once it is ready, the new content will start playing. So that is about that. That is how to design and push content. So what we will deal with finally, if you have a question you can ask before I touch on the schedule content. Any question? If there's no question, I think I can proceed. So schedule function, the schedule functions here allows you to say, let's say I have a default content that is playing on the player, but at a particular time of the day, I want a specific content to come out and play for a number of minutes or hours daily. and then it goes away and go back to the default content. That is what the schedule content allows you to do. Let's say in the morning between 9 a.m. and 10 a.m., I want it to play a specific content. Then it goes back to the default content that can play forever. And then let's say between 1 p.m. and 2 p.m., I want a different content. So you get the idea. That is the idea of schedule content. So that it comes up and play for a number of minutes and it goes away like that. So that's what schedule content does. So if you want to have a schedule content, you can click on add schedule content here and choose if it's date, if it's monthly, you can see this one is selected monthly, weekly, and daily. If it's a daily content, you can choose the time that you want it to happen. Are we together? Hello? Is anybody there?
We are with you together. Yes.
So from the top here, if it's a scheduled content that you want it to happen like maybe monthly, or is it weekly, or is it something that you want to happen daily? So select the time. Maybe it's between 1 p.m. As soon as you click, it's going to give you this prompt to say what is the content. So I'm going to say maybe this content is going to be a playlist, and then I'll select the playlist to say maybe it is maybe it's this content, right? Maybe fit or stretch. Click OK. It's going to tell you when is the first date and time for this thing to start. So you define when you want it to start, you define when the content should stop, and then what is the repeat? Is it you want to play it once or you want it to happen daily? Then when you choose daily, it's going to ask you how many days. Is it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday? All of these days are selected automatically. Well, if you don't open on Sundays and Saturday, which I'm sure you don't, you can just select Monday to Friday and click on this and just click on save. This is the content. Content is created. Lawa, are you there? Lawa is not there.
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, okay.
I'm here.
You left us at some point. We were talking about a demo player. Maybe we might get to that. So you give the schedule content a name. Let me say demo schedule 1, and then save it. So I have a schedule content there. So it doesn't happen yet automatically. As you can see, when I click on monitors, you can see that my monitor under schedule content, you can see that it's set to none. No monitor has a schedule content yet. I just created a schedule content, but of course I have to assign it to a monitor so that monitor knows that, oh, between this time and this time, I should play the schedule content based on what I have defined. So if I want to add a schedule content, I click on edit. And when I click on edit, I can now come under the schedule content here. You can see nothing is set. So when I set it, I can say choose my schedule, my demo schedule 1, which I just created a few minutes ago. So under monitor here is not where you define your schedule function and what it does. Here you just tell it, oh, I have a schedule content. Just take it and play based on whatever instruction I have given on the schedule content. So I choose it here and click on save, and save, and then push to Xandadeck. Of course, if it is yet, so the content that is going to keep playing now, once it's done downloading the content, the default content, which I have under demo layout 2, it's going to keep playing that content until it is time to play the schedule content. So it will play the schedule content between the time that I want it to start and between the time that I want it to stop of the day, and then it goes back to the default content. So, and that schedule content is going to happen Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday between the time that I define. I think it's between 1 and 2 p.m. in the afternoon. So if you have that, you can always test that. Just try things out, design, push anything you want to push to your screen. Look at the background color, text color. If you are maintaining good brand equity, you can do all of that. So You are not restricted to any font. If you want to use a specific font, whatever you are doing on the screen, it allows you to define the font and colors and all of that you want. If you have any question, I'll be happy to answer your questions. Lawa, any question?
Yes. No for now. No for now, sir.
Okay, so Lawan, we were talking about the demo player that you should have, or Tolu Lokwe should have, so that when you design and before you push it to the branches, you want to just test it, send it to your screen, see how things fit properly, whether something is sitting right, whether something is not sitting right before you push it to the branches. So we're talking about that player. There's no provision for that. So we're asking to know if you can work around that, but it seems you left us at that point.
Okay, I think that will come from you, and which we need like a team, and also need to ask, like, for example, now we have 200 players, and maybe we push content, and some players are offline, maybe due to some power issues also. So that means if we push content to them, that means they won't go on those particular players if they are offline and if there's no network, because part of the requirement is that all the players must be on network, right?
Yes.
Okay, so what if they are powered out, there is no power on it, or they are offline, maybe the network port is faulty, or someone mistakenly maybe tamper with the network of it and it's not blinking anymore?
Okay, so I don't know. I'm trying to answer your question from the angle you are coming and also from what is possible on the portal. All right. So on our portal, I started with the dashboard that gives you an overview of what is happening with your account, so that you will know which player is offline, which one is online, and co. So here gives you an overview to say you have just one monitor online currently, which is Adetokunbo Ademola. So I can now click on monitors. When I click on monitors, I can see which monitor is online and which one is offline. I think you, as the person who is an administrator of this particular technology, I am sure you have a place where you say, if, for instance, something is not right at branch A, you know the IT rep to talk to. So if you are looking at the portal, you can see that maybe Ade Tokumbo, Adeola Odeku, for instance, the player that is showing offline. You can ask the IT rep to find out why the player is offline. Because if there's no power, the player will show you offline. If there is no network connection, the player will show you offline. So it is the IT rep there that will be able to tell you, oh, we have power issue. Oh, there is power. Oh, the network cable is not blinking, or is blinking. I can ping it, it's reaching, or what have you. So I think in terms of who to call at the branch, I think it's more on your side, or what do you think? But of course, the portal allows you to see which branch is offline and which one is online. I don't know if that answers your question.
Okay. Also, another question is that what if we want to, for example, reassign the device to another location? Must it come from you, or we can do it here? That's my first question. Reassigning of these players. Also, this registration code that we need to send to you after the process. If there's any further deployment, still must we send this registration code to you to profile before it can be on, or is a way we can do it from here?
You can do it from there yourself. Now, see, what you need to do is the training on your own part, because there are few things that you must enter into the player for it to work. You understand? So, The IP address of the player must be entered properly for that branch. So if you give me an IP and gateway for branch A and I configure it on a branch B, when you take the player to that branch, you and I were sure that it's not going to work. So those IP addresses that you put into the player and the proper network information, and remember we are communicating through a proxy server, so you must also add the proxy certificate. So this one that is online, let me just show you what I mean. So from the portal here, if I come to network tab, if you come to this place, you can see that proxy is enabled. This is a proxy that is flying on and is running on port 80. If you come down again, there's a static LAN configuration here to say IP is here. If this IP now, which is 10.245 and the gateway is 10.1, if we send this player with a wrong configuration to branch B where the gateway is 11.1 and you take it there, you and I know that it's not going to work. It's going to just show offline and nothing is going to work. You see, that somebody will have to go down there or they send it back to you for reconfiguration, which is why we don't
Therefore,
want that to happen. Then
kindly
network
fill the
certificate.
online Excel below
So you
with
can
the
see
number of IP hardware you have in the branches and of that as soon as possible.
Lawa, are you here? Hello?
Sorry. Yes, I'm here. I'm here. Sorry.
Okay, so what you need is just this training. Get the right IP address and a gateway from the network team and mount it to the player, including the proxy server certificate. Once this is correct and you send the player to the branch, it will work. So I don't want us to have the issue of saying, oh, something goes wrong in this certificate, because if you remove one thing from this certificate, just one letter from here, I can guarantee you that when the player gets to the branch, it's not going to work. And as they are sending registration code, we have to re-enter this information again for final activation. That is why I wouldn't want you to, make a mistake and then we start going back and forth. That is why I just say, let me help you in the final activation for now. But of course, this is where you manage the settings and all of that from. Are you satisfied with the response or anything that
Yes.
is not
Okay, I'm satisfied, sir.
Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Any further question? Lawa, everybody
Hello,
is
sorry, Lawal has not addressed our question about, well, he pointed at it, but we didn't conclude.
yeah.
Because I want to assume what he was trying to say is that you can only do 200 screens and you've already registered 200 screens. So how do we have an extra screen here for testing? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Just to make a provision now, Lawan, what we need is just to say, oh, this is the cost of additional.
Actually, we need extra this thing for testing, like she rightly said, because we just can't deploy live without having a test, due to the sensitivity of the information and the number of branches.
The angle we are even coming from is not, we have done a test at the branch and you can see how it works. The player we are talking about is a player that is going to be connected to the screen that she would always be
In
looking
our
at.
office,
Yes,
so that
to
we would
see what
it
is
looks
happening
like
at the
before
branches. Yes. If you design new content and before you send it to the branch, you test it on your own screen. The other banks that we did, that was what we did. So before we sent to the branches, they made a provision for their screen at their own office too, so that anytime they want to push something to the branches, they first of all test the content on their screen and look at it and all of that before they push the rest to the branches. So what we need to do from our end is just to tell you, oh, this is the cost of a player and a subscription for it. So that's just it, Lawan. And we can add it to your account. We talk to the network people, they give us the IP address to use, and then we just add it, finish.
So Lawan, just know it is very important because what you see on the system does not necessarily mean it would appear the same way on the screen. So yeah.
Okay, ma'am. This is noted.
Okay. And we have a screen in the office, so it's just to set it up.
Okay, ma'am.
All right. Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, ma'am. I don't know because there's one branch that we feel in that Excel, and I learned that it has been closed. One branch in Anthony, Itire. So I don't know. We have already dispatched it to Anthony.
Okay,
location,
yeah,
but now
it's
found out
right.
it has a,
Yeah.
except if we can retrieve that Itire on and use it for this testing.
Of course, now we can use it now. Okay, that is if it's from our own end, we can use it. But I think it's your own end now. You should discuss. It's just to reconfigure it for your screen there.
For our office, yeah.
Yes.
I don't think there should be an issue with that. Lawan, yes.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, everybody, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you too. So who is sending the recording? Mr. Dennis or Lawan?
It's Lawan.
Lawan. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. I don't know if anybody has a question before we. I think we're already asking our questions as well.